Washington Auto Insurance. In most states, drivers are required to insure their vehicles prior to putting them on the road. This has become easier to do, because we can now purchase online car insurance with insuranceontheweb.com. States have different requirements regarding what type of vehicles must be insured. Those who are relocating to Washington should know about the Washington Auto Insurance regulations. Anyone driving in Washington must have coverage, whether it be from in-state or out of state. Those operating a vehicle registered in the state must have an auto policy, be self-insured, or have a minimum certificate of deposit or liability bond. If the driver purchases Washington Auto Insurance, limits must be at least $25,000 of liability bodily injury per person, $50,000 of liability bodily injury per occurrence, and a total of $10,000 of liability property damage per occurrence. Vehicles that are registered as motorcycles, mopeds, or motor-driven cycles may not need to provide mandatory coverage. Antique vehicles, collector vehicles, that are over 30 years old, and publicly owned or state vehicles may also not be required to have mandatory coverage. Anyone whose vehicle is a contract or common carrier with the Washington Utilities and Transportation Commission also may not need coverage. If you have any questions as to whether or not your car may require coverage, contact your local Department of Motor Vehicles or law enforcement agencies to find out. Unless the vehicle is on the list of possible exemptions detailed above, operating it without having required coverage is considered a traffic infraction. This act is subject to a fine of no less than $450, which is very expensive considering that the average premium for coverage in 2010 can be considered affordable compared to the penalties of being caught without Washington Auto Insurance. Having this coverage will provide drivers with peace of mind that should any accident happen, they are protected. Washington drivers can get online insurance with insuranceontheweb.com in just a few minutes, by providing minimal personal and vehicle information for a quote. Even vehicles that are not required to be insured under the law should have some form of Washington Auto Insurance. This protects the auto, the driver, and the passengers in the case of an accident. Go ahead and request your free Washington Auto Insurance quote online with insuranceontheweb.com.